All right, so the next great console war. It's not for your TV, it's for your face. Seriously. Today, we're digging into the huge high-stakes battle for the future of reality. We're going to look at the 2026 playbook for the three big titans, Meta, Apple, and Pico. Let's just dive right in.
Okay, so to really get what's going on, we have to start with something kind of weird. I mean, look at this. Despite all the hype, all the buzz, the actual VR headset market has been shrinking for 3 years straight. Shipments are down, sales are down. That whole dream of a VR headset in every single home, yeah, it seems to be fading, not growing.
So that leads to the really big question, right? Why on earth are these massive tech companies pouring billions of dollars into a market that looks like it's, well, dying? The answer is pretty simple, actually. It's because this isn't about selling headsets anymore. No, this is a full-on strategic war for whatever comes next.
First up, let's talk about the current king of the hill, Meta. I mean, they were here first, they've sold the most headsets by far, but and this is a big but. As we're about to see, their entire strategy is doing a complete 180.
And wow, just look at these numbers. This shows you exactly how much Meta absolutely dominates the standalone headset space. They have over half the entire market. The Quest platform is the undisputed leader, and it's not even close. To put that into perspective, their closest competitor, Pico, they're sitting at just 5%. It's a huge gap.
But, and here's the kicker, that dominance has come at a cost that is just staggering. Since 2020, Meta's Reality Labs division has lost over $83.6 billion. No, that is not a typo. $83.6 billion. They have literally spent more than the entire GDP of some small countries just to build this market lead. It's wild.
So when you're losing that kind of money, you got to change the game plan, right? And that's exactly what Meta's doing. The old strategy was all in on the metaverse. Remember Horizon Worlds, the whole shebang? Well, the new strategy is totally different. It's all about an AI wearable-first approach. They're realizing the real battle is for everyday usefulness, which means focusing on things like smart glasses and reaching people on their phones. You know, the devices we're all already using constantly.
And you can see this pivot everywhere you look. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The budget for Reality Labs slashed by 30%. Their super high-end MR glasses, Project Phoenix, pushed back to 2027. So where's the money going? Well, to the Ray-Ban smart glasses, which have been a runaway hit, selling millions. And Horizon Worlds, the heart and soul of that old metaverse dream, it's basically just becoming a mobile app now. The message here is crystal clear. The big, expensive VR bet is officially on hold.
Okay, so while Meta is pivoting down to the mass market, Apple came in from the complete opposite direction. Their whole plan with the Vision Pro was to redefine the super high-end of the market. But, well, it's run headfirst into a pretty harsh reality check.
And that reality check? It starts right here. $3,499. I mean, at that price, the Vision Pro was obviously never meant for everybody. Apple called it a spatial computer, a peek into the future. But let's be real, that price tag is a massive wall for most people.
And while the sales numbers really tell the whole story, after that first big burst of hype, where they sold about 390,000 units in 2024, shipments basically just fell off a cliff. We're talking down to just 85,000 units for the entire year of 2025. For a company like Apple that's used to selling millions and millions of iPhones every quarter, these numbers are microscopic.
So the question is, who is actually buying this thing? And the answer is kind of surprising. It's not everyday consumers, it's businesses. A huge 75% of all buyers are enterprise customers. We're talking about surgeons using it to practice tricky operations, or engineers visualizing complex 3D models. For those super specific professional jobs, they found a ton of value that actually justifies that crazy price.
And because of that, Apple reportedly hit the brakes and halted production in early 2025. And here's the interesting part. Just like Meta, reports are saying they're shifting their engineering focus away from this big, heavy headset and toward developing lighter, more normal-looking smart glasses. It really seems like even Apple has decided that the immediate future isn't a $3,500 headset.
All right, that brings us to our third and final player in this game, Pico. Now, you might not know the name Pico, but you definitely know their parent company, ByteDance, the folks behind TikTok. And Pico is the real ambitious dark horse in this race, and they are choosing to fight on a completely different battlefield than the other two.
And Pico has made a really bold move.
They've decided, you know what? We're not going to fight Meta on price. Instead, they've completely canceled their next consumer headset to go all in on building a direct shot at Apple's device, what they hope will be a true Vision Pro killer.
And when you look at the rumored specs for this new headset, which is codenamed Project Swan, you can see their strategy crystal clear. They are aiming right at Apple's weak spots. The display, it's reported to have a higher pixel density. We're talking 4,000 pixels per inch compared to Apple's 3,386. And they've even developed their own custom chip for that video pass-through that's supposed to get latency under 12 milliseconds, which would put it right on par with Apple's R1 chip.
But, and this is Pico's biggest problem, their market reality is tough. Yeah, they absolutely dominate in their home market of China with a huge 46% market share. But globally, they're tiny, just 5%. And here's the most important part. Their headsets aren't even officially for sale in North America, which is the biggest consumer tech market on the planet. So yeah, they can build a Vision Pro killer. But if no one in a huge part of the world can buy it, does it even matter?
So, after all that, where does this leave us? You've got three tech giants, billions of dollars on the line, and all of them are running in completely different directions. Let's try to pull this all together with a final scorecard.
Okay, let's break it down one last time. First, you have Meta. They're the volume leader, but they're basically abandoning the whole metaverse stream to chase the mass market with AI wearables. Then there's Apple, who's retreating into this profitable but super tiny niche, turning the Vision Pro into a high-end tool for businesses. And finally, you've got Pico, betting the farm on being the undisputed hardware king, even if a huge chunk of the world can't buy their stuff. Three companies, three totally different bets on the future.
And all of that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Which one of these strategies is actually going to win the next era of computing? Is it going to be mass market AI, high-end enterprise, or just pure cutting-edge hardware? The war for what's next is happening right now, and honestly, the winner is anyone's guess. I want to know what you think. Drop a comment below and tell us which strategy you're betting on. Thanks so much for watching.